So guys, when I was in third grade in California, I had a teacher that I can only define as straight from the gates of hell. I'll call her Mrs. W. The way I remember her is sitting behind a giant B-52 desk, never really getting up very often, like a beehive stacked, like really tall hair and thick glasses and pronounced buck teeth. Now, was that the way she truly was? This is how I see her, and it might just be because of my experience in her class. It was like a torture chamber, being one of probably 25 third graders in California behind closed doors with this lady. Just to me, like the devil reincarnated. Her, looking back on it, you know, her hatred for kids and how much she hated her job, it's shocking. And it's funny because as a guy moving into his 60s, the effect even now, you know, I'm sitting here while I'm waiting for my motorcycle to be washed, and the thought comes about this lady all these years later. And I'm like, you know, a lot of people would say, get over it, son. What the hell? You're old. I am over it, I think. But ironically, you know, I spent over 30 years as an educator, and teaching was like my calling. And my experiences in school were not good. I was not a good student. I was apathetic. I couldn't connect the dots on why I was being asked to do all of these things in school, especially in a room like Mrs. W's, where it was basically sit down, shut up, read these pages from your textbook, and answer all these questions in complete silence. And as an active kid whose mind was always whirring or whirling around, it was very difficult to sit in a wooden desk. Thing I remember is you wouldn't even approach her desk, you know, because she would sit behind this big giant desk. What the hell she was doing back there the whole time, I have no idea. But my memory of her now as a grown-ass man was how incredibly freaking lazy and cynical and hateful she was. And she rolled through humiliation. And that's going to be another video upcoming on my teaching series. Honestly, guys, when I think back on it, I can clearly see that after I got out of the Air Force, after serving for 8 years, that my experiences and my torment and her nastiness and mean-spiritedness, all of that propelled me to become a teacher. And you may say, it seems like it would do the opposite, Steve. But what became a ritual as I tried to wrap my mind around what had happened that year, and I'll give you more details in a later video, was let me be the teacher that I always wish and dreamed that I would have as a young kid. And that was actually a ritual in my classroom every night. The night before school, before the first day of school, I would stand in my empty room knowing that my new students were going to arrive the next day. And I was very sure that they were saying a secret prayer. I hope I get a nice teacher. I hope I get a fun teacher. I hope my teacher likes me. And so, standing in that empty classroom, I literally would say the words out loud before the first day of school. Please, God, let me be the teacher that I always dreamed of, the teacher that I always hoped for, the teacher that I always prayed for. And Mrs. Weaver, I have no idea if you're still alive and well. I would think not, because you were already a middle-aged lady when I was a 8-year-old boy in your classroom. But I hope you don't mind if I share some of your humiliating tactics, especially what you did when you heard me bragging about kickball and me and my friend John discussing who was the best kickball player at recess. You found a way to humiliate me, and to this day, I carry that with me. And I'm sure, guys, if you accidentally happened upon this channel, you probably have a story of a teacher straight from the gates of hell too, that was cruel and unforgiving and mean. Or maybe you had the opposite, and you had a teacher that profoundly changed your life with his or her kindness and his or her dedication to their job. Anyway, guys, that's what's on my mind this morning in the blazing hot sun here in Thailand. And thank you for tuning in. And I promise to share the most humiliating moment of my childhood via Mrs. Weaver and her cynical hatred of the very children that she taught. And you say, hey man, you're exaggerating. Wait, I'll give you a very concrete example of how she controlled her class and boys like me, rambunctious boys like me, through manipulation and humiliation. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace.